Yeah, I couldn't quite reach. I did vacuum all the cake and the glitter. But I was like, yeah, I need something.
Dart at it. And it would, the acoustic pad would stay. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's funny.
If you miss, I think those clothes things too.
Well, if I thought of like a broom handle, but still you gotta, I maybe on a chair. Yeah, I sort of thought about it and then moved on. It'll come down eventually. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny sometimes the stuff I find in here. Like one day there's glitter everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay. So today it was like little chocolate pieces of cake. Yeah, how the crumbs drop off. So I was like, yeah, we'll vacuum today. Yeah. Yeah.
Do they like to be over here?
Well, they're flexible. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta do some cooking today. Try to get some stuff done on Sunday. I can't believe I actually raised my kids and cooked every meal for years. Because it's really hard to cook these days. I get maybe, if I don't do it on the weekend, then it's like, hello. We're supposed to have 13, so. Do you want me to move that table out? She already said she would move. I did suggest we could do them on the tables, but I was only kidding. Hi, Sherry. We're just getting organized here. We'll start in about a minute.
I don't know what you mean by, hey Siri, we're just getting organized in here. I will start in about a minute.
I don't know why she started talking to me. Like this happened last week too, and I'm like, I didn't change anything in my settings to have the computer. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm old school. I don't want my devices talking to me. Like I don't want my phone talking to me. I'm sorry. That's just too bad. Yeah. Well, it's listening because like we could talk about something and then I'll start getting ads on Instagram or whatever. It's a little too much for me. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday. Inhale. Thank you. Lift up, breathe in. Reach all the way up. Feel your rib cage reach up to the ceiling and then press down and away. Tuck that chin. Inhale, lift up. Reach way up to the ceiling again. Feel the extension and lower the shoulders and release. One more inhale, lift. And exhale. Place those arms forward. Just reach forward with your shoulders and then bring them back. So all the moves today and stretch, you know what your body needs. You might find a spot that you want to hang out a little longer, go a little deeper. So it's all about what you need. Listen, it's talking to you. Reach and back. Two more. Last one. Now we're going to take our arms clasped Doesn't matter which, wrap one arm on top of the other and tuck your chin into chest. Feel the space in the neck. Maybe I move my ear side to side, a little tightness here. It's morning. And then open up the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift the chest to the sky. Switch the cross. So I work my fingers back to reaching onto my shoulder blades. Again, tip side to side. And reach those arms back. A little quicker now. We tuck and throw away. Tuck, reach forward, throw away. Feel your shoulder blades trying to squeeze together in the back of your body. Try to think of seating the shoulders down so they're not drawing up to the sky. And one more. Bring the arms up for at home. Try to get the elbows in line with the shoulder on both sides. Tip down and lift up. So I spread the fingers as wide as I can, pressing palms down, lift up. So I'm also lifting tall. Feel the connection of the heels on the floor, the sides of the foot, the toes. Giving my quads a nice squeeze here. Here's two. A move so simple could feel fatiguing, yes? Bring those arms in, tuck the chin in, open up. In and open up. On this one, I'm kind of taking my knees to a soft bend, pressing my hips forward, a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. And one more. And then let yourself dangle down, just let it go. We're going to do some more arm work, but giving you a little rest. I wiggle my hands, my wrists, let the head drop, bend the knees, straighten the knees, sway side to side. Maybe lift one shoulder at a time. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, tucking chin, neck, head last. We're bringing our arms outstretched right here, palms forward. You'll take one arm. So say I'm taking my left, I'm going to turn it so the palm is back. The right is reaching up and I'm looking to that left palm. Pressing back. Come back to center, palms forward, and flip to the other side. Back to center. Flip it and reach. Really separating the arms. And one more. And back to center. Bring the arms down. I'm going to take my nose and I'm looking on an angle towards my left armpit, taking my right hand like an L, and I'm just guiding that head down on an angle to the left. Bring it back to center, switch to the other side, and just give it a nice firm stretch here. Come back to center. We're going to do one more each side. Center. And to the other side. Back to center. Start to take some roll down. So tuck your chin in. My hands just slide down past my knees to the shins. All the way to the ankles. Maybe they touch the floor. You have to bend the knees all the way if you need to and lift and roll back up. Slide your hands to the low back. Press those hips forward. Back bend here. And back to center. Take it out. We're going to step to the front of our mat. A little bit of sun salutations. Maybe we'll bring the sun back. Lift up. Forward fold. Half lift. Drive those hands right to the shins now. Really flatten out the back. Press your glutes back, the sits bones back. Head comes down, forward fold. Hands plant, step back to plank. So we're here in plank and we're just tipping forward and back on the toes. And you can just move yourself back into kind of like a semi down dog, trying to get the heels back to the floor. This takes time to work into it. You might have to walk the feet in a little closer. Find that spot. Hold back to a nice down dog. So I'm on my toes to start. I walk my hands in a little closer, press those heels down, bring the chest through the arms, trying to get ears in line with biceps. Hold here. And then start to walk. So pop one knee at a time. And then you can press on an angle. Like I said, this is where you just kind of feel the spots you need to go. Hip lifts on one side. Bring both heels back. Shift your weight back to plank and either bring your knees down or straight down to chaturanga. All the way down. Lift here to a nice up dog. So first I start with walking my hands forward a little bit and they are bent. The elbows are bent here. Then maybe press up to straight arms. And you can also move this one. So tuck the chin, roll up. So it kind of gets the spine prepped, the chest and shoulders, tucking in, lifting up. Slide your hands forward to your elbows and hold here with the collarbones lifted. Tops of the feet are down. Nice pyramid, nice back bend. Can you straighten the elbows? Perhaps. And bring those chests down, hands by the chest, and reach those hips back. And I start to prep into a child's pose, so moving hips forward and back. I usually try to get my toes together, knees apart. Here, sitting back, lifting forward. Sit back if you can in child's. And this can also be done standing if this really bugs your knees today. So readjust. You can fold your mat up. Can that forehead come down on the ground? Reach above the head to start. I start to take my fingertips and I press myself back. So I'm getting those hips further onto the heels. Arms come down, big circles all the way down to the feet. Flip the palms up, drape the shoulders over. You can even tuck your hands under your ankles, hold here. Release, press your chest up. And let's just get out of this. I'll shake my legs out, give the knees a break. Don't do too much on the knees, just a little bit today, maybe side to side. So this time, lining knees and hips up. My arms are going to walk forward over my head, but I'm keeping the hips up. So instead of sitting back into child's pose, we're walking our hands forward like this, and then trying to press our chest through the arms. Keeping the hips high, start to creep those fingers. Maybe you could make it down to the forehead down on the floor and reaching way above. Butts up, looks good. Nice. Feel your rib cage expand. Walk your hands back and come to all fours position. Again, shake out those legs. And just bring the toes back, lean the heel back, little break. So in all fours, all stacked, joints stacked. We're going to start with a threaded needle. So lift an arm, right or left, doesn't matter, and thread through. So I'm reaching all the way open the chest, as high up as I can, reaching through to the other side. We're going to try to get that shoulder down on the last one. So start to bend the supporting elbow so that shoulder comes closer to the floor each time. Open up. Here's 2. And that last one, open that chest, press that palm up. Top of the hand is running on the floor. Reach, get that shoulder down, creep those hands above the head, sit back. Unfold and come all the way down. Just going to give you a little break here. So lay all the way down on the ground. Take one hand, palm down on top of the other, and press your forehead right on top of the hands. Start to just take one leg, squeeze into the buttocks with a flex foot. Good for the hamstrings, good for the glutes. You can lift the quad off the ground a little bit as you're just alternating the kick in. Bring both feet down, tops of the feet start to feel the ground. We're going to lift up both feet at the same time with the forehead glued to the hands, and we're going to hold it there for a count of 8. Ready? On 3, 2, 1, lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower. Nice. Breathe. Bring your arms above the head. Keep looking at your mat so that neck is nice and neutral. Opposite arm, opposite leg reach. So reach up, lower down. So we're keeping that spine nice and neutral, neck neutral, lifting arm and leg. Switch. And switch. Just keep alternating. Right hand, left leg. There's 2. And 1. Bring your hands back, forehead down on top. Take a rest here. Start to just tip the hip side to side. So one hip lifts off at a time, just rolling side to side. Settle yourself back. Those toes are pointed. We're going to release our hands, bring them back to the low back, palms up. We're going to lift the chest and pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tee out the arms now. So they're out to a T. Taking my right arm in by the chest, lifting the right heel up. So the heel is reaching to the ceiling. I'm pressing into that right side. I'm tipping over, stretching the shoulder on the left, and bring it back. We're going to do 8 of these. So it's going to be a moving, and then we will hold it. Bring that thigh back down, reach it over. So only go, to your edge there. We're trying to someday maybe get that foot flat on the floor. There's 3, bring it back. So it's the same arm and the same leg, right? Elbow up, leg moving over the body. Here's 4. 3. 2. And guess what? On the last one, you get to hold it. Yum, yum. Ready and go. So maybe it just hangs up in the air like this. Maybe that bottom foot comes on the floor, knee up. Extreme stretch in that shoulder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. This time I'm going to have you get your arms under your body. So I place my palms up. I roll one hip, place my arm underneath, roll the other hip. So I'm really laying on these arms, and then one ear to the mat. So squeeze in. So what this does is we kind of constrict the blood flow, and when we release, the blood rushes to the joints and it feeds the joints some nutrients. Release one arm, release the other arm, and tee them out again. Looking down at the mat, slide in my left arm, so kind of cricket wing here. Bring that left foot up, so it's bent, bottom of the foot to the ceiling, and start to move it over to the right. 8 times here. Oh, I just found another big crumb over here. At least it's not in front of you. It must be vanilla cake this time. Keep moving. Here's 3. Like I said, maybe the leg just stays kind of hovering wherever it goes, but you're peeling open the hip. So you have a lot going here. You're stretching your shoulder, but you're also opening the hip, using the glute. Couple more here's 2. And last one, we're going to settle in here. Hold. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back over. And one more time. I have to take my glasses off. Lifting my right hip, arm under, left hip, arm under, and now get the other ear to the shoulder, to the mat sideline here. Really squeeze in. It's like you're taking your shoulders and really hunching them forward. Generating some heat here. And release. Very nice. We have to go back to our all fours. We have to get to the other side, left side. We did not do yet for our arm twists. Stacking, lifting up, spreading through, reaching over to the other side. Open and reach. Getting some work in the spine here with some twisting. 2 more. Last one, reaches open and slide that hand down and come all the way down. If you can, settle on that shoulder, creep those fingers above the head, and then sink the hips back, hold. and unfold. I'm going to have you do one last thing here, lying all the way down. We're just picking a leg, coming up to the side, half frog. So I just slide it up, try to again, knee lined up with the hip, and then I'm pushing it to the side, imaginary, right? It's like you're trying to press your hip all the way down. Those hands could just come right here, stacked. Half frog. Stretching out the pelvis area. A little bit of the inner thighs, hard to get to inner thighs. Slide that leg back and pick your other side. So bring that knee up to the side and then press it. I guess some people sleep like this, right? Stomach sleepers, maybe. Right? It's always interesting, a sleeping pattern. Are you a side sleeper, back sleeper, stomach sleeper? I'm usually all over the place. I don't really know quite what happens, how I even get any rest, because blankets are usually in a knot. It's kind of amazing. And bring it down. If you'd like to give it a try, you could try a frog. I would just say put your knees on the mat. So this is a frog here. So I start with opening up, trying to keep the feet on the floor, starting in a lifted position, then maybe come to the elbows, and then maybe sink your head down. So maybe you've had enough knee stuff, so take a rest if you've had enough knee. We'll get off the knees in just a second, I swear. All right, and bring ourselves out of that. Okay. Let's come to seated position and start to just get a little bit of a break. Laying down, I like laying down, so you don't have to strain your shoulders for this one. So all the way down, looking up at the beautiful ceiling, and just rock those knees side to side, windshield wipers. And sometimes I'll hang out, just like let them drape to one side, look away from those knees. You feel the stretch like on the top of the quad, past the hip, maybe the side, all the way to the shoulder. Start to tune into the sensations of what's going on in your body. Make that connection, bring it to the other side. And always breathe in, exhale deeply. Let it all go. Get another set of moving windshield wipers. And then the next one is bringing the knees together, walk the feet apart. Maybe place your hands right on the pelvis here. Sometimes you could generate heat in your hands and then just press that into your joints. Send some energy there. I'm walking my feet in, bringing the knees into the chest. So I just give it a nice gentle squeeze, both hands on top of the kneecaps, squeezing in and releasing. Maybe circle one knee out to the side and then the other. Try to keep the pelvis in contact with the floor as you're opening up the knees, no tipping. Just get the range of motion there in the hip. And then maybe reverse the direction. You could do both at the same time. Move the feet while you're doing this. And then place the legs in the corners of the elbows. So I start to squeeze high, tipping side to side, sometimes clasping in between, pulling the clasp open so it pulls the legs open a little bit. High, tight to the side. Knees in and then come up. So I'm cradling the legs with my arms. So I'm grabbing around the ankles in the back and I'm using my forearms on my calves. My knees are bent, just squeezing down, lowering knees closer to the chest. Switch it out. So kick those legs up straight. And then really start to work the toes, flexing and pointing the feet. I love the flex because it just feels so good in the hamstrings and the calves. Opening up the toes, tipping them to the side. And then press those heels up to the ceiling and start to kind of pump them. So I'm bringing knees down, squeezing up to the ceiling, down and lift. Open up your legs slightly. We're going to cross right over the left ankle and then bend the knees. So start here. Slide your hands down to grabbing one ankle with each arm and just relax here. And we'll start to tie a knot with the legs. So just give it a little bit of like tying the legs and then maybe bring the nose up between the knees. Let that head come down, release. Bring the legs up, bend the knees, flat feet, reach up. We're going to try our happy baby. So we'll do our half happy baby. Sliding my hand up to either the ankle, bringing it down to the side or the side of the foot. Trying to get the hamstrings nice and straight, parallel to the sky or the ceiling. Lift that right leg up. Try to get the left coming down. Just doing one leg at a time to the side. And then both legs come up to the ceiling, reach the sides of the feet and open up here. You can rock side to side if you'd like. Bring those legs straight up again to the ceiling. Bend and straighten. So I'm using my hands for an assist, kind of pressing the quads up and lowering down. Press up, lower down. Open up the legs slightly. Cross left over right. Bend the knees. Hold here. Slide your hands down to the ankles. Start to tie that knot. Do you want to lift up your head, perhaps? Nice. And lower that head, unfold. So bringing the ankle stacked, knees stacked, come right over to the right. Let those legs land on the floor, relax. So now it takes a little bit of maneuvering to try to get the shoulders flat. I'm looking up. Maybe bring your arms teed out, palms up. If it's okay with your neck, look away. Bring your arms on the same side as the knees. Your side lying now. Slide your hand down the knee to the ankle and give yourself a quadricep stretch. So heel into the buttocks. That knee is in line with the hip, straight down. Squeeze that heel in. Tip that knee back if you need a little more. Feel a release of the muscle, that big major muscle. And bring those knees back in, swing them up over to the opposite side. The first relax. So I start with the shoulders popped off the ground. So I try to relax my knees. Then I use my elbows to start to get my shoulders down, tee out the arms, palms up, look away. So find all the spots that it's releasing, side body. One side may be reluctant. Bring the arm to the same side, slide the hand past the knee to the ankle, quad stretch. Give that heel a nice squeeze into the buttocks. Knee tips back for more. Knee comes in, roll right back to your back, one leg straight, rock yourself up. How we doing? So far, so good? Just kind of walk those feet uneven so the hips get some movement here. Forward and back. And then bring the soles of the feet together, and then I walk one hip in and the other hip, seeing if I could get closer, closer, closer. Hands clasp on the feet, open up butterflies, so lift and lower the knees. Try to tip forward, so I'm using my elbows to squeeze them, bend them down, get that head down towards the center. And release. I'm taking, I know it's hard to tell, but I'm going to take my left arm, left leg in front. So again, ankle to knee, knee to hip, and then take the right. So 90-90 sitting. Try to line hip to the right and then the ankle to that right. And I'm taking a kind of a twist over this left knee. Maybe you just stay upright and hold upright. Maybe you bend the elbows. Maybe you fold all the way down. Use your breath to sink, settle, lower. Walk it up, walk your hands forward now. So it's going to be a little bit harder to go low. And if you can sink more directly over the shin, go for that. Walk your chest up and swing this foot forward. So the right is going to cross over the left. And then I start to see if I could get both hips down, both hands on. Sometimes you could lead one leg straight and get there that way. Find that spot. Lift the chest nice and tall, tall spine. And breathe, relax, unfold. So this time, right leg is coming in front. Make sure that a lined up connection. Left leg comes back, so adjust. And then reaching on this angle over the knee to the side. Let your body come down. For me, this left hip is definitely higher off the ground than the right was. It just identifies some imbalances you may have in your body. They're not perfectly symmetrical. Think and settle. And then press up now, turn it a little bit more direct over that knee and come down. And bring that head up. So this leg that's in back is swinging around. So first I'm lifted here. So I have to kind of maneuver, shift those hips, bring those legs back, lift tall. How's everyone doing? Feeling okay? Who knew it takes strength to stretch, right? All right, unfold, bring those legs straight into your Dandasana. With the toes up, lifting up. It's okay to bend here. I'm starting first, just letting my chest come down onto the legs, so rounding down. Use the elbows to squeeze your knees together. If you could kick those legs to straight, go for it. Your head will follow. Slide your hands up the shins to a nice half lift here. Slide your hands from the mat all the way back. And then press in. Feel the support of the spine here with the arms and just lifting. And this next one, lifting off. This time with a straight back, reaching the energy out of the fingertips, settle those shoulders down, tip forward, straight back. Let the arms come wherever they go, so we're more straight here. And then squeeze that chest down and round forward. Tuck the chin in and bring those hands to your shins flat back here. We're going to swing our legs around. We're going to stand up. I'm going to do some goddess. So prep your toes. Slide your toes back, feet down, just tip forward and back. So I'm lifting my heels, lifting my toes. My knees could be bent, tented fingers here. One last thing I'd like to do while you're here is bend your knees deeply, right? And then can you get your hands on the floor in a deep bend so the palms are down? And now let the top of your head turn down, tuck that chin in and lift the hips, keeping the connection of the hands on the mat. Only go as high as you can without those hands lifting up. Lift hips and then bend again. So deeply bend. Press your palm flat into the mat. Yeah, flat. So then when I lift the hips, if your hand starts to pop up, stop there. All right. And lower down again. So that's the sweet spot. Pushing your hands into the mat. Squeeze that chin, lift the hips up. This is such a good stretch for so many body parts. And lower. And you'll eventually get there with the hips lifted and the palms down. Someday. Now release the hands and come to a standing by slowly rolling up. Let everything hang. Tucking that chin resets the spine. And open up a little bit here. The feet can turn out a bit for goddess pose. So the arms are up. Reaching here, I'm taking my right arm, reaching to my left ankle, then lifting the body up. So adjust the feet, left hand to the right. Lift up. So I'm opening up my legs a little bit more as I feel that I wasn't getting enough of a stretch. Reach down. Now start to take that hand on the outer ankle, Hold here, compress that chest towards the knee. Take this other arm and wrap it along the low back. Tuck hold here. Reach up to standing again. Left hand on the outer ankle and tuck that arm on the low back. You might feel wobbly, bend the knees a little bit when you stand back up. You can also touch down for a second, ground yourself. 2 more each side. Does your forehead come closer to the knee on the second one? Bring it up and down. Lift up. Arms reach up. Tip forward, flat back. Hands come down on the floor. Let your head just relax. Turn your feet so they're forward. Walk your hands out. And then press your chest through. So it's kind of like a wide leg down dog. Biceps by the ears. Lift forward, kind of like a triangle plank, and then push the hips back again. Chest comes through. Feel that in the calves and the hamstrings. Just keep rocking forward and back. And one more here. Walk those hands back. Start to walk your feet, toe, heel in. Come all the way to parallel feet. Wrap your hands along the back of your shins. Tuck your head in. Giving yourself a nice giant hug. And then slowly roll up. So what I do sometimes, if you're feeling like you're wobbly, I touch down with the fingertips, ground myself, and then start to roll up. We're flipping upside down, inside out, all around. So sometimes your balance gets off a little bit. So it's okay to use the ground to get you there. So let's end with some breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push out. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One more inhale, lift. And exhale. Push out. Throw it away. Any junk in there, throw it away. It went really fast. There was a lot of stuff in there and I wanted to do more, but I was like, ooh, man, we'll be here all day. So thanks for coming. Hopefully you feel a little invigorated. Thanks, Sherry. Always worth the trip. That's a good saying. We'll put that on a t-shirt. Thank you at home.